opponent's hand from in front of their body, where it's strong, and where it has access to defensive measures to behind their body. Once it's behind their body, the fight is effectively over. You can do crazy stuff once the hand's behind the body. You can let people roll you over. If you have their hand back there, you will probably get the submission, or at least be able to scramble to another position. So the Kimura is so strong. Again, it's a 2-on-1, but it's a 2-on-1 with reinforcement, and it's a 2-on-1 that immediately creates threat submission, making it uniquely powerful for us. So where we're going to start, guys, is really with basic mechanics, and I mean basic mechanics. We're going to talk about how to record for the Kimura. So, Mike, can you lie flat for me? So our hand and arm position is really important. It's something that doesn't often get into that. The Kimura, like every other submission is just a lever. It's lever and lever. The lever we're working with is from the point of Mike's elbow down to his wrist, like slabs, things, whatever. So if I have a lever, where do I want to be working on a lever? As close to the end as possible. What does as possible in this case mean? Well, it can't be here, because now I'm operating over a fixed joint. Mike has a lot of freedom to move his hand around. So the lowest point we can go to is our middle finger over the bend of the wrist. There's also kind of natural handles there, which is nice, but the biggest thing is that I'm as far down on the lever as I can be, which gives me optimal leverage, without going over this fixed joint with that much flexibility. So first thing, I want to make sure everybody can see my middle finger covering the bend of Mike's wrist. Everybody see that? Okay. The second hand is going to do the exact same thing on my own wrist. So my middle finger of my left hand covering where the wrist, my right wrist bends. Okay. That's going to give me optimal leverage at both ends, because I'm dealing with the very end of this lever, right? No different than handling a wrench. If you have a wrench, you don't push up by the head, you push it down the bottom. So I want to make a distinction here, clarity of language. We have two hands in the Kimura. We want to have a way to distinguish them from each other. So we have what we're going to call a pushing hand, or a stopping hand, and a pulling hand. The hand that holds your partner's wrist, that is your pushing hand. The hand that holds your own wrist is your pulling hand. And what you'll see here, guys, is that as we go through these progressions, you'll notice that we want as much as possible to use pull-dominant Kimuras rather than push-dominant Kimuras. They're going to, basically because they're going to allow us to use significantly more muscle mass and attain better leverage to finish the movement. And lastly, we address the grips. There's another important component in gripping we need to cover, which is the position of the elbow of our pulling arm. What I want is for the inside of my elbow to be as close to covering the outside of Mike's elbow as possible without sliding past it, right? So I want to be something like this. You guys see how close I am to his elbow? Now I cannot go below the elbow. That's disastrous, because once I'm here, the Kimura grip is gone. I don't have it. So I'm going to be as close to that point as I can without crossing the elbow. If necessary, you're going to err slightly towards the shoulder. Going below the elbow to the hand. If you, parallel stuff, if you can cover this, great, but this gives Mike a pretty good chance of sneaking out. You probably want to be, so this point is called the operon, you want to be just above that, because now, if Mike tries to free his hand, the point of his elbow is going to get caught on the inside of the elbow.
Same thing you're doing with the wrist, as close as you can get without...
Precisely, yep, without sliding off the end, without sliding over that joint. Okay. Questions on that stuff, guys?
Yeah. What do you want the thumbs on your grips?
Good question. Almost certainly doesn't matter. It's a common question, right? There are going to be situations where your thumb position does matter for setting up the Kimura. We're not going to cover those today. If the question is, fundamentally, will I have better control or better braking power with or without the thumb? It doesn't matter. Because in order to have better braking power with the thumb, what I need to be able to do is turn Mike's wrist with just my thumb. And really, that's probably not going to happen. I try to turn his wrist, Mike resists this. Very easy. Look, I'm big and strong, and like I'm just sliding right over his hand. So it doesn't really matter. There are going to be situations for setups. Like let's say I was setting up the Kimura in a certain way. I might have to use the thumb to grip because I'm holding with one hand while I'm setting up, and this is easier to slip out of. But for once you have the Kimura grip established and you're focusing on finishing the Kimura, it doesn't matter. I tend to go thumb over just because it's more comfortable, but I don't think there's any real. I really don't think it's relevant. Yeah, whatever more comfortable. Anything else? So guys.